What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here, and welcome to today's Clash of Clans video where we are discussing the Falcon attack at Town Hall 10. This is an absolute beast, guys. We also have a Town Hall 11 99% 2-star, which was super close right at the end of the war. We'll show you that at the end of the video. Each of these attacks are by Elite Gaming and our CWL matchup against One Hive Genesis. If you want to join us, Discord link is on the screen. If you want to join my Discord, the link is on the screen. So with the Falcon attack, we've set up the funnel here using troops either side. The Queen is going to go for a walk around the outside, but she's going to get fantastic value here on the outside. There's a lot of point defense there, and with the Valkyries, you want to lead with your spells. You can see how that initial rage spell was ahead of the Valkyries, so they used the entire spell. We do exactly the same with the heal spell here. Obviously the poison spell goes down on the enemy CC, and the Valkyries basically tear apart the base. You don't need jump spells, you don't need wall breakers, anything like that, guys. You're basically using the rage spells to push through. We've seen this covered quite a lot in recent weeks. It is shot to fame at Town Hall 10. Riggs Gaming absolutely beasting it. Make sure to go and check out his channel. He does some brilliant guides breaking this down, guys. But as the Valkyries come forward, they basically tear apart the base. Now what you will see is often we bring the Queen in behind the Valkyries. The main reason for that is that the Valkyries run ahead of the Queen. They end up protecting her, and the Valkyries do tend to veer off at one side of the base or the other. It's not always predictable which way they will go. You do want to often bring troops in order to finish off these defenses, so you might actually in this case bring some hog riders, but with the Queen being on the outside, she is going to have that reach in order to take them down. And also we have the Valkyries in order to help out as well. And the bowlers really help out in the middle as well, guys. They have the ability to throw the boulder over a wall at the defenses, and they can also shoot multiple defenses as well. If they are, you know, kind of 2 compartments away, the bowlers under rage can still take that down and help to protect the Valkyries. It's a brilliant attack, guys. We'll show you a couple of variations of it here today. Again, all of these attacks in our CWL matchup. Unfortunately, we did lose out to One Hive Genesis. Massive congratulations to them. They are powering through this season absolutely brilliantly. The next attack here is just base number 25, one down from the one you just watched. And just check out how this one is set up. This 3-star attack is all about the setup, guys. It really is. With the Falcon, you do not want to mess up that funnel, because if Valkyries go on the outside of the base, it's near impossible to get them back in. I'm a massive fan of the balloons and the haste spell, just sacrificial method, and you can see how well it works out here. 3 defenses go down, but not only that, it then allows the wizards to take out all of these buildings down the bottom, free of defenses. So the funnel is set on that side. There is no way once these buildings go down, the Valkyries are going to go up there. You can then use the Queen to set the funnel on the other side, or initially, it just depends on how much timing it's going to require, but a couple of wizards to take out these buildings will assure that she turns back and walks anti-clockwise and then merges in with the Valkyries for this one. So as you can see, looking at it now, once that town hall goes down, there is literally no way the Valkyries are going to go anywhere but try and bust open that wall. And watch how the first rage spell is used to get them into the base. The last thing you want is them going down initially as they first come forward, and all of a sudden once they're in the base and that heal spell is there ready, obviously you don't want a heal spell down first, guys. The Valkyries are at full health. Let them take a little bit of damage. You can afford to do that. So the heal spell is used into the base. Generally speaking, with this attack strategy, you will use 2 heal spells and 2 rage spells. You kind of use rage heal, or it just depends on what goes off. If there's giant bombs go off, obviously you need them heal spells on the Valkyries. They take a lot of damage, and again, you can see how useful that Queen is, just kind of tucked in behind the Valkyries. She starts picking off them defenses from a distance, and basically you can hold on to her ability as you move through the base. You'll probably find that the healers will switch across to the Valkyries and the bowlers once they get into the base, because they will be the ones taking the damage. That's a good thing, guys. You kind of want that to happen, and then potentially they will swap back to the Queen towards the end of the raid. But remember, you've got that ability. You're potentially bringing back end troops. It just depends on how things go. We have goblins in this one in order to take out the resource-based buildings on the outside. Again, just depends on what is there in terms of what troops you need for cleanup. And as you can see, absolutely crushed it. So many troops left over. It is a brilliant strategy. It is all about creating that funnel. And it depends, if you have nice compact bases, they can be very, very helpful. So this base, you can see how it's nice and compact at the end. And again, this is the type of strategy that you don't necessarily have to kind of wipe out the base in one kind of line. You can focus your fire across a certain section of the base and then rely on the fact that you have your healers and the queen or enough Valkyries towards the end, or even them back end troops, however you want to play it, in order to take out the final defenses. So again, that funnel being set is important. It's set up at the north here and down at the bottom. The queen is going to come down. Now you'll see that Tesla might be a little bit troublesome, but we are going to kind of counteract for that. So the Valkyries come in slowly to take out this building, and you can use the buildings as breadcrumbs. You don't need them all down. You can actually use your main troops in order to create that funnel yourself, so long as you start with the buildings on the outside so that they move in over. I hope that makes sense. A couple of Valkyries did go because of that Tesla, but it's not the end of the world. We can actually use them on the outside. And again, the healers have now switched to that main group of bowlers and Valkyries, which is a good thing, guys. Again, the queen is now well protected. They are in front of her. Here come the Hog Riders. Once they start getting to that area where they're going to have to bust through a lot of different walls, we can sneak the Hog Riders in between them. Arguably, we could have waited and brought the Hog Riders in at the bottom here to help out, but it really didn't matter too much. As long as you're helping take them defenses out and protect them Valkyries, they're going to move through the base. And as you can see, the healers on them provide massive, massive help. I mean, it doesn't matter how much damage is coming in, the Valkyries will tear apart them walls, and with the healers on them, they are just indestructible, basically. Look at the amount of bowlers left over, Valkyries still being healed, king and queen with their abilities. I mean, this is an annihilation at this point. The king is tanking a lot of defenses. He's going to be able to press that ability and spawn them barbarians, and the queen coming around the outside is going to be able to snipe the defenses. Now you can see where if one or two Hog Riders were saved, they would now be useful. You could bring them in at the back end now, but it just depends on how you want to play it. Again, once the defenses are distracted, you can bring in them goblins. Feel free to start sniping off buildings. This one gets a little bit closer, not quite as convincing as the others, but a 3-star is a 3-star, my friends, and that's basically what you need to get done. So let's move up to that Town Hall 11, 99% 2-star. Now I can't actually remember, guys, which one it was. 90% there. So let's just move on through. There it is. Number 3 by Zeus. And he does a great job here with the Bow Witch combination. And again, I talk a lot about the bowlers on the outside, using them as a funneling troop. Just look at how much value he gets here. Going to be able to take out the Dark Elixir Drill and the Mortar in order to take out 2 buildings with that one bowler. And then bowler steps up and gets that builder's hut as well, funnel created via a bowler. So when you might automatically think about a baby dragon, the baby dragon might not have been as effective there because it might not have been able to get that mortar, so a bowler was less troops and more effective. Queen Walk then pushes her around to the side, and I really like how he does this. Gets the CC lure, but he's already started. He's conscious of time, so he's very unfortunate to have a time fail here, basically, because he's already coming in on this side to create the funnel, and there comes the Bowler Witch combination. They're going to target that Inferno Tower. Again, at Town Hall 11, it's very similar in that you need to target the Inferno Towers, but you also need to target that Eagle Artillery. Them 2 balloons were massive, guys. Just sneaking them in to take out them black air bombs means that you can protect your healers coming through the base. Now, balloons are not worth as much as healers, obviously, so losing a healer is massive in combination to just putting a balloon in there. The healers are what is keeping these bowlers up on health right now. You don't have to worry about bringing a heal spell or anything like that. The healers are actually doing the work, and look at how convincing this is as they move through the base. It's really unfortunate that they took so long to get this single target Inferno down, but the Queen goes on a little bit of a rampage here as well and decides to not necessarily go the logical route of things. So she's taking out trash buildings at the bottom. Meanwhile, the bowlers and the witches, shame about that wizard tower taking out a few of the bowlers because that could have helped, but the bowlers and witches have the healers. They're continuing to come through this. Baby dragon on the outside to help with time. Perhaps down here might have been more beneficial. Who knows, guys, if it could have helped the queen to get on track, but she goes on a little bit of a goose chase here, finally comes back around, and we just have the wizard tower, presses the ability to try and get through. Look at how agonizingly close that is. Maybe 1 or 2 more seconds and it would have been a 3-star, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. That wraps it up for this video. I hope you did enjoy it. I've been your host, Judo Sloth, and until next time, peace out.